Coming up, the latest information on the CARES Act and the extra funds SRU students received.
We'll also have updates from Monday's SGA meeting.
And some Super Bowl firsts. Also,
what did Reddit do to the stock market?
All this and more coming right up on The Rocks. Welcome back to On the Rocks. I'm Mac Bell.
And I'm Madison Williams. We start our show with an update on the pandemic's effect here in Slippery Rock and what assistance is being offered to those in the area. First, here's a look at the numbers. Here in the U.S., the total number of COVID-19 infections has surpassed 27 million. Nearly 900,000 of those cases were recorded in Pennsylvania alone. Since the semester began, SRU has reported the number of positive cases in students, with numbers being confirmed in the past week. Faculty and staff members have also tested positive. Back in mid-February, in an effort to contain possible COVID-19 outbreaks on campus, Slippery Rock took the initiative to set up a free COVID-19 testing center right outside of the student union. I'll have an opportunity to sit down with Christina Benseeker, who is the Director of Student Health Services, and Jennifer Stopel, a nurse practitioner and the acting testing coordinator. For more information on the testing center and how you can receive a saliva-based COVID test, that information will be available this week on WSRU-TV's Twitter and Facebook page. With widespread testing in place, the U.S. has shifted its focus towards vaccination. According to the White House, 8.6 million doses of the vaccine are being shipped out every week, with that number expected to increase to 11 million due to expected increases in manufacturing. Any substantial increase to vaccine production is not expected unless the Food and Drug Administration grants emergency approval for the vaccine developed by Johnson & Johnson. So far, the FDA has only granted emergency approval to Moderna and the Pfizer-BioNTech. With 4 known strains of the virus spreading throughout the world, the effectiveness of current vaccines remains unseen. This week, South Africa halted the rollout of its 1 million doses due to a recent study that showed that the AstraZeneca vaccine that they were used to was not very effective. All of this was against the strain of coronavirus most commonly found there. Officials there are working with vaccine companies for a solution. Here in Butler County, the Pennsylvania Department of Health has approved 14 sites to provide individuals age 65 and older to those who meet a certain medical requirement with the vaccine. The Giant Eagle in Slippery Rock is one of the pharmacies authorized. You can visit their website to schedule an appointment.
Negotiations are still underway as to what the next stimulus package will look like here in the U.S. While there was talk about lowering the maximum income for individuals and families to $50,000 and $100,000 respectively, Democrats on Monday unveiled legislation to provide direct payments of $1,400 to Americans earning up to $75,000 and families making up to $150,000. The proposed legislation would also raise the weekly unemployment from $300 to $400 and extend benefits through the end of August. The $1.9 trillion plan would also increase the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour and provide billions to small businesses and colleges. In addition to college-dependent students who were ineligible in the first and second round of stimulus packages, a lot more college students can expect to receive these funds if the new legislation passes.
Speaking of funds, the university received funding for the CARES Act back in March of last year, and they also received funding for the one signed in December. Many students received emergency funding from the university. Nina Cipriana from the Rocket will explain more about this and the CARES Act to those who receive funds.
The university received a certain amount of money from the CARES Act, so as a governmental fund, and eligible students received a $700 emergency grant. And to be more specific, the people who would receive them, they had to meet FAFSA and EFC requirements.
Life updates after this commercial break.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock! Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
On the Rocks, I'm Joe Wells with your SGA update. It was a busy meeting for the Student Government Association Monday night as the Senate body entertained 8 motions and got to ask the administration about testing on campus. Chief Student Affairs Officer David Wilms took time during the open forum portion of the meeting to discuss the university's efforts to combat COVID-19 on campus. In order to allow more students back into classrooms and provide more in-person events, Wilms said the university wanted to launch the testing center at the beginning of the semester, but there were issues.
We fully intended to launch a testing center on January 19th when classes began. We have had delays with that. The lab that we have partnered with that would provide the testing results for us had a delay, and they are actually not going to be up and running until February 15th.
Along with frequent testing, Wilms added that vaccinations will also play a role in what campus life at SRU will look like, especially during the fall.
And I really feel that by the time we get to next August, when we want to come back to campus in a more in-person environment, many, many more people will have the opportunity to be vaccinated. That, coupled with regular testing available on campus, will allow us to be much more in person.
When asked if the university will require students to be vaccinated for COVID-19, Wilms said the university cannot require them at this time because the FDA has only authorized the vaccines for emergency use. If a COVID vaccine would be required later on, there would more than likely still be exemptions as there are for all other vaccinations the university requires. The Senate voted to table 2 motions that would amend the SGA's bylaws. The motions would require senators to attend 2 diversity events a semester and as well take a one-time mental health training. 2 senators were also sworn in Monday. Senators Emily Sarver and Carly Satterfield were unanimously approved for the at-large Senate seat. In a statement, Sarver said she was beyond excited to join the SGA and help improve the SRU atmosphere. Sarver and Satterfield's additions to the Senate body brings the total number of senators to 34 months before the upcoming election. And joining Senator Madison King on the Election Commission will be Vice President of Student and Academic Affairs, Leif Lindgren. Lindgren was unanimously confirmed to the position. No timetable has been set for the upcoming election. And in SGA financial news, the Senate approved the 2021-2022 budget of $2.5 million, which is the same as it was last year before the Senate was forced to reduce it by 50% due to a cut in fees collected by the university during the fall semester. The Senate body also approved $9,625 to cover costs of the SGA movie series. This semester, the regularly hosted movie nights moved online. $8,000 of that allotted money will cover licensing for the films, while the rest will pay for giveaways and advertising. And lastly, the Senate amended its motion to only recognize some of the changes to the student evaluation form that had been agreed upon by the union and administration officials. The Senate recognized the removal of a question about whether the course improves students' computer literacy. Assistant to the Provost, Marrie Hennessy, stated that improving computer literacy was not an outcome required by faculty. The 2 questions that were duplicates had the redundant removed, but the body decided to keep the one in the survey. That question asked whether students thought the faculty was comfortable with the technology they used in their courses. Members of APSCA found the question not to be the best way to ask about how well a faculty member uses technology in the classroom, but senators like Gabriel Stiles disagreed.
I'm in a class right now with a professor that wants me using 3 different third-party technologies on top of D2L.
And that's your SGA update. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Do you remember when you were told not to play with fire? You were told to be quiet. When they said caring wasn't in your generation's DNA. When they said stop playing with toys. Do you remember when they said stop dreaming? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the dreams, the noise, the caring to challenge you to be your best. Now and in the future, Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better. Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Thanks, Joe. As we kick off the month of February, we celebrate Black History Month. Here at SRU, multiple groups and organizations, including the Office for Inclusive Excellence, came together to bring a month of different engaging events. Some events include Black History Bingo on the 12th, Write and Sit Poetry on the 13th, a night at the Palin Q on the 19th, When Black Athletes Protest on the 25th, and all of these events and more information on them can be found on CORE.
Since the start of the pandemic, a lot has changed, and that holds true for esports as well. Aaron Marrie had the chance to talk to Dr. Seth Jenny about esports and its introduction into courses.
Since the beginning of the pandemic, many things have changed. Companies have fallen, but nothing has grown bigger than the esports community. One might ask, aren't esports just video games? Well, Dr. Seth Jenny has more on the definition of video games.
You typically use the term video games is just recreational gameplay, primarily for the purpose of enjoyment.
And esports.
I've defined it academically is organized competitive video gameplay.
Dr. Jenny has plans to bring esports courses into the curriculum, including an introduction course set to take place this fall, as well as additional classes in the future.
For next fall, what we are looking to do is potentially start a undergraduate esports minor, and I am looking to offer a university seminar esports course called Game On. This is esports within the liberal studies rock studies program here for freshmen. Another one is called Current Issues in Esports Health and Society.
On top of having interest on adding new courses to the curriculum, Dr. Jenny has also published books.
Most recently, I wrote a textbook for the book publisher Human Kinetics called Technology for Physical Educators, Health Educators, and Coaches. And that textbook focuses on how you can integrate technology into physical education, health ed, sports coaching, how you can use it for planning, how you can use it for instruction, how you can use it for professional development, management, organization.
Down the road, Dr. Jenny also hopes to have a master's certificate available here at SRU in esports. Reporting for WSRU-TV, I'm Aaron Marrie.
Staying on the theme of esports, the SRU Esports Club will be hosting a triple feature PASHI-wide esports tournament. 3 games, 1 per month, ending this spring semester. Starting with Mario Kart 8, SRU and sister schools will be racing on February 28th to see which PA state school will finish first. A maximum of 100 participants will be streamed on Twitch and competing on a big bracket through Challenge. Students will have to register on the bracket generator, which was made in 2009 that is now used for arcade and PC/console gaming venues and esports organizations. Only those with a pashi.edu email will be eligible to enter into these tournaments. Next month, on March 28th, will be Super Smash Ultimate, and for the final bracket, Counter-Strike Global Offense. The CSGO competition will take place on April 25th, right before SRU Finals Week. You can register at challenge.com/PASHI-CSGO. We will keep you up to date with scores after the tournament has finished.
As Valentine's Day is just a few days away, you might be thinking that you aren't going to get those flowers or that candy for that special person in your life, or even with COVID causing issues with seeing each other. Well, what if I told you that Delta Zeta and Theta Chi have partnered up to have Valentine's Day deliveries? There are 3 bundles, flowers and candy for $5, an e-gram for $7, or all 3 for $10. For flower and candy bundles, your address must be in the Slippery Rock area, but e-grams are available for all. Make sure to check it out on their Instagram.
After a quick commercial break, we will have an update on spring sports here at SRU, as well as what's happening in the pros.
Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or some place happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you're pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Go Rock!
Welcome back. The first week of February brought the long-awaited return of Slippery Rock sports. All of the sports started their weekly testing as they began preparing for the regular season. Fall and winter sports will be practicing and preparing for next semester, while spring sports are preparing for the season to start in just a few short weeks. Each team has their weekly testing days, such as lacrosse on Thursdays, and with all 6 of spring sports starting competition in early March, we'll be keeping you updated on all SRU sports updates.
The Pittsburgh Penguins regular season is underway to give us a new sport to watch following the end of the football season. It seems as if the team is winning a lot of their games in overtime, and if not, they're losing without a close chance of coming back. Many wins are also away, and being home isn't helping us much. After some trades this offseason, the Penguins had a rough start but bounced back to defeat the Capitals twice and the Rangers 3 times. Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith have both split time in the net. With COVID-19 running through teams, the games against the Devils this past week were postponed. The Pens will take the ice yet again on Thursday night against the Islanders at 7.
Super Bowl 55 took place on CBS, premiering on Sony's Alpha 1 camera. On Sunday evening, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs faced off for Super Bowl 55. Tom Brady, Buccaneers quarterback, and the Buccaneers offense carried a lead all 4 quarters to a victory, winning 31-9. For Brady, this was an exciting win after leaving the Patriots this offseason. This is only the 2nd Super Bowl win and trophy for Tampa Bay. This was also the first time a team hosted the Super Bowl, as the game was held at Raymond James Stadium. Tom Brady now has 7 Super Bowl wins, more than any NFL franchise, leading the Patriots and the Steelers by 1. For Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs quarterback, their offense couldn't connect in the end zone for touchdowns, and the defense couldn't seem to avoid all of those penalty flags. Win or lose, Mahomes still made history as the youngest quarterback in history, with back-to-back runs in the Super Bowl. In the era of COVID-19, it was certainly nice to have a sense of normalcy with a little bit of football during the pandemic and the Super Bowl. In other news, Sarah Thomas made history as the first woman referee to officiate in the Super Bowl. Brian Clark tweeted out, "Thank you to Bruce Arians for showing the world that all 3 of your coordinators can be black, your assistant head coach can be black, and you can have 2 full-time women coaches and be the best team in the world." History was made this season, and Bruce Arians gave all of the praise to his players. As per the usual, a fan stormed the field, interrupting the gameplay in the 4th quarter. Between that and a halftime show from performer The Weeknd, who became the first Canadian solo artist to perform at halftime, it was certainly all the entertainment that we needed for Super Bowl 55.
After this commercial break, we'll find out what actually happened with Reddit and the stock market. Sit tight.
Do you remember when you were told to sit still? Walk, don't run. Don't sit too close to the screen. Don't touch that. Color inside the lines. At Slippery Rock, we inspire the motion, the music, and the moments of challenge that allow you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference. Do you remember when you were told to put away your toys? Don't climb on that. Don't write on the walls. Go easy on the makeup. Do you remember when you were told to mind your own business and wait your turn? At Slippery Rock, we inspire the heights, the color, the caring for each other to challenge you to be your best, now and in the future. Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
It starts with a dream, and then something, someone, or someplace happens. That is the difference between those who dream and those who make it happen. An experience where you are pushed, challenged, knocked down, picked up, encouraged to do better and to be better.
Check out our studio!
Make your dreams happen at Slippery Rock University. Experience the difference.
Big things happened recently with the stock market and Reddit investors, and Sedor-Franzk had the privilege of getting first-hand information from one of our own professors, Dr. Boy. She explains in simple terms for people who aren't familiar with the stock exchange with what happened involving the Reddit investors and the stock market. Dr. Boy also touched on the importance it may have on the Slippery Rock community and what may happen as a result of this.
We have like millions of small investors try to push the stock price of a particular stock, like a GameStop, from like I think like about $20, and it's go all the way up to like $400 in the middle of the week. So within just 1 week, and then the stock price of that company just went through a very wide volatility and intense competition between small investor and traditional like big player institutional investor, a young and new investor that they are enabled by the technology. So with the mobile app, like especially with Robinhood, everybody can invest. And so basically they want to make a statement that we like right now for investment, it is for everybody, and everybody can basically participate in the stock market, can even win over some of the big player on Wall Street. But I think that it is very important that you always want to get yourself educated about investment, and not just like listening to like social media and follow kind of like the trading frenzy on there, because at the end of the day, it is your money, and you in any investment is always involved risk.
Well, that's all that we have for you this time.
We hope to see you right back here in 2 weeks. Stay blessed, stay safe, good night.